Moving on to the next guest here, everyone. What's going on, Charleston? Do you support Trump?
Hi.
We're only looking for people that say yes. And once again, like I'm sorry if you think I'm being mean. I only have like another hour to debate, guys. I don't have that long at all. Please only join if you support Trump. What's going on, Ave? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yes, I do. Okay, why is that?
Well, I personally think that
I gotta ask you, man. Are you from America?
I not originally, but I moved 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
Yes.
What time is it?
That is not a question you need to ask. Okay, wait. Okay.
That is not a question you should ask. It's crazy. Bruh. All right, just start spam inviting people up onto the stream at this point. All right. John, you
Hello.
support Trump?
Of course.
John, why?
Yo.
Why, John? Why do you support the worst president of your life? Why?
Well, for a few reasons, but I'm curious your thoughts on the MS-13 member that the Democrats seem to want back in our country.
Okay. So first and foremost, when you say the Democrats want the MS-13 member back into the country, you're assuming he's an MS-13 member, as well as you're assuming that it's just the Democrats who want to uphold the law. However, that claim might be true. The Trump administration was actually ordered to facilitate Abrigo Garcia's return to America by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, he ignored it. They don't have any rule. They can't
The
do
Supreme
anything.
Court are Democrats.
Wait. What were you about to say there, John?
I said they can't do anything about it.
They can't do anything about it, like the Trump administration?
What? Well, Trump doesn't have to let them back.
Okay, well, literally he does. Yes, he does have to facilitate his return in
as for the
accordance with the
MS
order from the Supreme Court. Don't pivot. You said that he doesn't have to facilitate his return. Yes, he was ordered by the Supreme Court to do so. So, like, legally speaking, he does have to. He's just simply ignoring that legal order.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So do you think that's a good thing when, we see a degradation of checks and balances in our federal government with an attempt to consolidate power to one branch? Are you advocating for a king, sir?
I think it's a good thing to keep gang members out of our country.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. I want you to respond to exactly what I'm saying without a red herring. Do you agree with the Trump administration's decision to attempt to consolidate all power to the executive branch of the government?
Yes, I trust Trump and his administration more than that.
Okay, great. So you want a king?
Well, so let me ask you this. You said that
no.
You didn't even answer my question. Is diabolical.
So you want a king? Like, I just want to tell you, this is why
I don't want gang members.
This is why the Revolutionary War started, John. It's because we didn't want a king anymore. We didn't want consolidated power to one person and his cronies.
Well, I trust him more.
When you're telling me that you trust one man more than the checks and balances provisioned by the American Constitution, you're a traitor to this country.
Sure.
Like, I'm not even lying. You if you were alive during the Revolutionary War, the drafters of the Constitution would have viewed you as an enemy to what they were trying to build.
Okay, that's fine. But could I ask?
I don't think that's fine. Do you think that you're an American patriot?
Yes, of course.
Okay, how can you be a patriot and an enemy simultaneously?
I don't want an illegal who's a gang member in my country.
So you're not answering to my question. But by the way, he's not a.
What does patriot mean?
Patriot. I don't know. Someone who stands by their country, is loyal, defends the Constitution.
Yeah, but you don't defend the Constitution. You advocate for the degradation of the checks and balances provisioned by the Constitution, and then also you don't have sufficient evidence that he's a gang member.
And Donald Trump is not. And Donald Trump is not a patriot.
On his arm, on his hand.
No, he doesn't. Stop lying.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. You're unironically lying. You're okay. So what
and
Donald Trump?
On top of that,
Donald Trump posted.
Wait,
John. So first and foremost, Donald Trump posted a picture of his hand tattoos, with photoshopped MS-13 on each finger, and said that he has MS-13 tattooed on his hands. Why do you believe this absolute fucking brain rot?
Oh, because the guy's first of all, he beats his wife too.
Okay, so you're saying if men cause harm to women, they're therefore a member of MS-13. So does that mean that Donald Trump is a leader of MS-13 since he raped Eugene Carroll?
an informant said that he was a part of MS-13.
Yeah, we should get MS-13 out of this country. Donald Trump is MS-13. Get him out of the country. Am I right?
Yeah, you're a comedian. We keep illegals and gang
No, that's your
members out
view.
of this
That's what you
country.
just said. That's what you just said.
Okay, then
I
like
bet
secondarily,
you-
your claim here is that an informant said that he was. So why is like one individual's testimony outside of due process sufficient to rule Abrigo Garcia as a member of MS-13, but not only the testimony of E. Jean Carroll but 7 others on top of the preponderance
You're
of evidence
pivoting.
submitted and
We're not
proved?
talking about Eugene Carroll.
So, so John, I would like to clarify. Her name's not
You give a
Eugene, it's
fuck.
Eugene. And then secondly, I'm not pivoting. I'm using your standard of
Yes, you
evidence
are.
to demonstrate hypocrisy.
Would you want this guy living next to you?
John, I want you to respond to what I'm saying. I'm using your standard of evidence to demonstrate hypocrisy because you're saying that the confidential testimony of somebody that you have no clue of is sufficient evidence for you to prove that Abrigo Garcia is a member of MS-13. But then, like, for whatever reason, due process in a civil court where E. Jean Carroll gave her testimony as well as the testimony of 7 others on top of other surrounding evidence is not enough to believe that Donald Trump is a rapist. Why do you hold such a vast difference in your standard of evidence?
Well, because I'm going to use a bit of common sense here. I'm going to assume the informant didn't pull his name out of a hat and just make up that he's a part of a gang, one.
Okay, so then
And
why
two,
can't I
Eugene-
assume that Eugene
Eugene
Carroll didn't
Carroll.
just pull
you-
up
let me
Donald
answer the
Trump's name out of
question.
a hat?
Let me answer the question. Eugene Carroll, by the way,
Eugene.
whatever. She
No,
went on.
You'll say her name correctly because you know her name. Now you're
Actually,
purposely
no,
doing that.
Actually, no. I pronounced it how I know it.
Eugene.
She went on The View parading that she just made millions and millions of dollars and she was going to go blow it on whatever. She was parading that she took millions of dollars from Trump. It was all shakedown.
Oh, so
I don't believe
she,
you
so
didn't
she
even
was
watch that.
parading that she got money from Trump. First of all, I'm not
Yes,
sure
on
if
The
that happened.
View. It's
Second
on
of all,
TV.
if it did happen, Bubba based Eugene Carroll. Holy fucking shit. She's a icon. An absolute icon.
yeah.
Okay, I just want to clarify. If
Yeah.
she did that, if she was able
He's ashamed
to
of women who are
successfully-
actually abused.
if she was able to successfully
Yeah,
hold
you're
Donald
such
Trump
a disgusting fuck.
if
John.
she was able to successfully hold her rapists accountable, then fucking get $87 million to be forced to go from him to her because he raped her, then
you
I
cool with
think
that?
she has the right to spend that money however the fuck she wants. And if she's
Absolutely.
talking about
Hold on,
how
hold
she's
on.
gonna spend that money, oh my god, an absolute icon.
Where's your
Mwah,
proof that he
to a
raped
T,
her?
to a
Where's your
T.
proof?
Well,
the civil court
that's
case. The civil
defamation.
court case.
well, I mean,
Oh, it's
civil
not
court case.
defamation because Donald Trump has been determined by a civil court to be a rapist.
He was not criminally convicted of raping her.
Wait, so you're saying that a criminal conviction has to occur in order for you to believe the claim? Where's the criminal conviction that Abrigo Garcia is a member of MS-13, bud?
Well, he's deported for a reason. They found.
Where's the criminal conviction, John?
You would not want this guy.
John,
living next
answer
to
my
you. You
question.
would
Where's
not
the criminal
want him
conviction of
living
Abrigo
next to you.
Garcia? John, stop pivoting, stop dodging. I want you to answer to me very directly. Where's the criminal conviction that has labeled Abrigo Garcia as a member of MS-13?
He wasn't criminally convicted. He was
Oh,
deported.
well, sorry, John. I'm going to need a criminal conviction in order to
And
believe your
actually,
nonsense.
the El Salvador president has him in a jail right now for a reason.
So I want to clarify. I'm going to need a criminal conviction in order to believe your nonsense, little bro.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't believe her.
Yeah, because you don't see a criminal conviction. So I'm going to use that same
No,
standard
that's
of
not why I
evidence.
don't believe her.
Okay, so then why did you bring it up?
I think she was. Well, you asked me a question. I think she was.
Oh,
looking
no,
for
actually,
money.
Parker didn't ask you a question. He stated the evidence is that Donald Trump is
You
on civil
did,
No,
dumbass.
No, hey man, let's not get upset. I understand you don't know how to regulate your emotions, just like your daddy in the Oval Office. But you know that's neither here nor there.
Do you have a dad?
Do
you have a dad?
Yeah, I love him. He loves me. I bet
That
you'd
is
like
a
to meet him,
crazy
though, right?
question to ask.
You did a bad job.
That is a crazy question to ask, John.
Well,
With you too, Parker.
So John, I understand that you think instilling a reasonable basis of wanting to seek genuine truth with the deployment of reason, fact, and logic is a bad job because it threatens everything that you stand for.
John's like so mad that he had to like go to that. That's crazy. You got him so
Little
pissed.
boys.
Shane. You pissed him off
Weak.
so bad.
If this country was left up to people like you, we would be fucked.
You would be fucked,
Both
John.
of you.
You would be fucked.
You
That's
would
for
be
sure.
fucked.
John, I'm gonna clarify.
get ran
if the
over.
country was like left up to being ran by me and people like me, people that value truth, people that value reason, logic, and want to instill values of wanting to seek an education and had no genuine facts of the world around us through like logical exploration, you would be absolutely and totally fucked. And the reason
A
I say
couple of
that you'd be
teenage girls
absolutely
would beat the two of you up. Teenage fucking girls.
John, okay. I mean, I was roasting you at this point. I don't really think it matters though because
No,
you're
it's
just
a
gonna stay
fact.
pissed.
It's a
Hey,
fact.
John, I don't even
I'm just
think you have
telling you what it
operating.
is.
I am not convinced you have
Yeah.
operating brain cells.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
real quick, I do just got to thank Melissa for
I'm
the
convinced
30.
you have under
Hey,
100
shh, shh, shh. Hey,
testosterone levels,
wait,
guaranteed.
Wait, hey, John, real question.
That's not. Is that even? Wait, is that even possible?
I was gonna thank
For
Melissa
you,
for
it
something real
is.
quick, but hey,
I'm
John,
assuming it is.
just a quick question. Since you're such a reasonable, smart guy,
Under 100.
in what measurement are testosterone levels measured in?
What measurement? I don't know. Go get a blood test and find out.
So John, it's nanograms per deciliter.
Nanograms. I don't give a fuck.
It's nanograms per deciliter. Do you know what a nanogram is?
What's yours? What's yours, Dean?
Well, I've never got it tested.
Maybe you should figure it out. Maybe you should raise them a bit and you'll become a Republican.
You know, I've actually got mine tested. It's about 1400, bro.
1400
yeah,
that's
okay, tough guy.
That's like equivalent to like all-star bodybuilders.
That's how stupid you
at
are.
the
You
top
don't
of
even
the
know.
world.
I've got a
how ridiculous
1400, bro.
that is.
I'm serious, John. 1400, bro.
And then also,
Yeah,
Get on my level.
hey
If
John,
you're
hey,
1400,
John,
I'm a fucking million.
Hey, John, just real quick. I
Fuck's
understand that
sake.
you want to like go like full like caveman mode and talk about your testosterone levels.
Sure,
That's like
sure,
typically
sure.
what beta males do.
You know
when
it's
they
actually
listen to debate.
studied? You know it's
Um,
a study.
What? It's not a study to you. You didn't
Lower
even,
testosterone levels are
John, it's not a study to you. You didn't even know the unit it was measured in. Okay.
Dude, I have 1400,
But
man.
I just want to thank Melissa for the
correlated with
$30.
being aligned with the liberal party.
I want to thank Melissa for the $30 donation over on PayPal, saying thanks for all that you're doing, Dean. I admire your patient. Thank you so much for the love, Melissa. Let's get 300 Melissa W's. As well as Linda, thank you for the $20 donation over on PayPal as well, saying if I were your parent, I would be extremely proud of you. In fact, I am proud of all that you contribute to society. Thank you, Linda. Dude, let's get W's for Linda and Melissa over in the live chats right now. Yo, John, real quick, can you thank Linda and Melissa?
Thank you, Linda, Melissa. Love you guys.
Good boy.
So anyways, would you like to have this guy as a neighbor, by the way? This MS-13
Would you
member?
like to have Donald Trump as a neighbor?
Absolutely.
That is diabolical. The guy who had held
That's
civilly liable of
diabolical.
sexually abusing a woman that bragged about walking in the changing rooms of girls in
He
Miss
probably
USA
upped my
'cause he couldn't
property
quote owns the
value,
place.
actually.
Yeah, but
He'd up my property value,
anyways, I
not decrease it.
I would like to clarify that, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a Brillo Garcia as a neighbor.
Really?
Yeah.
You the guy who beats his wife?
You just told us that you want a rapist to be your neighbor. And
Answer
then,
my question.
And then on top
The
of
guy
that,
who beats his wife, you'd be happy to have as a neighbor.
and according to people in the chat, that claim is not true, quite frankly. But
What's not true?
I want to clarify. So what I do know about the claim that Abrigo Garcia's beat his wife, like, can you reiterate to us the evidence for that real quick?
For what? Sorry.
Yeah, that he beat his wife.
It's public information. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but, like,
saw it on the news.
but, like,
and
what's the public
she was
evidence?
asked the question, when she was asked the question, she didn't even deny it. She just wouldn't answer it.
Oh, so are you saying like the evidence is her testimony?
What?
Like, what's the
It's
evidence?
a fact. He beat his.
I know, but what's the evidence to justify the fact? Like, I'm not like, telling you you're wrong. I'm just genuinely curious.
You're asking if I don't understand. What are you asking? Sorry, I kept
Yeah,
getting calls in between.
What is the evidence to justify the claim?
I saw it on the news just that he has a criminal history of assaulting his wife.
I know, but like, are you saying that so he's like criminally convicted of it?
I'm not sure. I just know he did it. That's what I
So
heard.
then
I don't know.
then how do you know he did it?
arrested.
Oh, he believes that, but he doesn't believe Eugene Carroll.
Well, it was on the news. I saw it on the news.
Again,
I don't
believes
really
that,
care.
but doesn't.
I don't
believe
really
Eugene
care if he
Carroll.
was
Oh,
arrested or
wait,
not.
actually,
for
I'm
it.
going to go ahead and just read you a quote from his wife. After surviving domestic violence in a previous relationship, I acted out of caution following a disagreement with Kilmar by seeking a civil protective order in case things escalated. Things did not escalate, and I decided not to follow through the civil court process, where we're able to work through the situation privately as a family, including by going to counseling. So, like, seemingly what is being told here is that there was probably like high tensions between Abrigo Garcia and his wife at one point in the past, and out of a stance of
That's what we call
caution,
it.
the wife then filed a civil protection order in case things did escalate to the point of domestic violence. However, things did not escalate to the point of domestic violence, and that is like from the wife. That is a
So
quote from the wife.
He didn't assault her,
Yeah, according to the wife. Yeah.
and you're gonna say right now he didn't assault her.
Yes, I will say
So
that.
if people
right
in the comments look up if he assaulted his wife, they're not gonna find anything.
now. I just quoted the wife saying that it never happened.
Okay, but if people look up if this guy's assaulted his wife, they're not gonna find anything saying he did.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm
precisely.
sorry. So why do you believe that, but you don't believe E. Jean Carroll?
Yeah, like you believe that like he is a wife beater.
Well, because Trump's been politically persecuted so many times. It's outrageous. I mean, like his thing with the property where they tried to say they claim fraud or he overestimated his property value. Nobody has to deal with that shit except for him. Nobody gets charged with what he did. First of all, the judge said his property is worth $18 million.
I'm not even referencing. We're referencing the fact that he was held civilly liable for sexual abuse.
Well,
right? Why don't you believe E. Jean Carroll? Listen, John.
Because I think people are out for blood and for his money just because they don't like him.
So then why do you believe that Garcia assaulted his wife with no evidence, and the wife says it never occurred? But then you don't believe that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll with evidence when E. Jean Carroll said it occurred.
She was asked the question. The wife was asked the question, and she literally wouldn't answer the fucking question.
I know. I have her answer
It's public
right here.
record. It's public record that she filed domestic violence charge against him.
No, that's not true at all. She filed a civil protective order, and this is a quote.
For
once
what
again
reason?
I just told you. I read a quote from her. The reason is that she had survived survived domestic violence in a previous relationship, and she filed. Wait. What do you mean? Yeah, exactly. I'm literally answering your question.
Filed it against
insofar
him.
as
She
why
filed
she
it
filed
against
a
him.
civil protective order. The wife
She
literally
filed it against
said
him because of a past relation.
Yes, that is what she said. She filed a civil protective order against him because in a past relationship she had survived DV, and out of an abundance of caution, she filed for a civil protective order in case things escalated to a point of DV. She then said, and I quote, "Things did not escalate." And she decided to not follow through the civil court process, and she was able to work through the situation privately. She said that.
And on top of that, he's illegal, correct?
Wait, why? Don't pivot. Don't shift the goalposts.
Well, no, we've talked about this enough.
I want you to concede that he did not abuse his wife.
From what I heard, he did.
What's the evidence?
And from what you heard, Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. Why don't you believe that?
Well, when you go around parading how much money you took from someone laughing about it, it doesn't seem like it was too. She didn't seem too upset about it.
What?
She's a
E. Jean
fucking
Carroll was
liar.
what? How can you say E. Jean Carroll wasn't upset about being sexually assaulted?
Well, I don't
How the
believe he
fuck
did
can you
it.
say that about
I
someone?
don't believe he did it. I don't believe he did it.
Wait, so
Again, without any
wait.
reason, without anything.
So I just want to clarify. You're saying that you don't think that E. Jean Carroll is a victim of rape because she was happy about the fact that her rapist was held accountable?
Say that again.
You're telling us that you don't believe E. Jean Carroll is a victim of rape because she was very happy that her rapist was held accountable.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah,
So that was-
you're just so incredibly backwards, John. You've never had a sentient, rational thought in your life. Because you're literally
Okay.
defending that Abreu Garcia beat his wife, even though his wife said that he didn't. And then you're like, E. Jean Carroll's not a real victim, even though she said that he is. 7 other people did, alongside the preponderance of evidence submitted inside of the civil court that held Trump liable.
Oh.
Like, please get some brain cells, bro. You are like a threat to this country.
It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how this guy's an accused gang member in domestic violence, and
You don't have any evidence that he beat his wife. His wife
and on
said
top
he
of
didn't.
that, listen to what I'm saying. It's pretty interesting. He's accused of these things, and on top of that,
accused,
came
and
here-
then you won't even
Quiet while I'm
accept a
talking.
civil
He
court
came here
against Donald Trump,
illegally.
holding him responsible.
Legally.
Again,
He
you
came
accept
here
accusations
illegally.
towards immigrants, but you do not accept accusations towards
He
Donald Trump.
should not be in our
26 women.
country. He shouldn't
26
be in our country.
and
He's
Donald Trump shouldn't be our president. He has 26 different women that have literally accused him of sexual misconduct, and you didn't believe a single one of those.
hasn't been arrested
then
for a single one.
I'd also like to really point out here that you're right. Under the current processes, under the current legal processes of deportation, there could have been a claim that he should be deported. We will never know that because he was not given due process in an immigration court. But on top of that, if you are just saying that you want to uphold current immigration laws, then you would, okay, so you do want to uphold current immigration laws?
Yes, he's here illegally.
Okay,
Deport him.
so then you would say
Let them decide if he's guilty.
No, John. If you want to uphold current immigration laws, you would say that Abrigo Garcia should be returned to America because that's what current immigration laws state. That's what the Supreme Court, who's the ultimate interpreters of American law and the American Constitution, had ruled.
That's the case. I disagree. I say this. This
okay,
is what I
so
say.
You're saying that you just disagree with the law, right?
Okay, so here's what I would do. I'm going to tell you what I would think. I think if first of all he's here illegally and he committed a crime, deport him to his country and let them decide if he's guilty
so
or
you're
not.
just saying
Give
that
him
you
his due
disagree with the law.
process.
You're saying that you disagree with the current law, right?
Sure. If they're not thinking the way I am, I disagree.
Okay, so you're basically admitting that the Trump administration did something illegal, but you just support it.
No, I'm happy he deported him.
But the deportation was illegal, John.
He's here illegally.
But,
How's that illegal?
Wait. How's it illegal? Because the Supreme Court, the ultimate interpreters of American law, as well as the American Constitution, said so.
Dude, he's saying it's wrong for them to, quote unquote, illegally come into the country, but it's okay for him to illegally deport them.
Yeah. Like, I just want to clarify. So why is it okay for Trump to illegally deport him? But it's
so
not
if
okay
you
for
come
him to
here
illegally
illegally, we can't deport you?
Illegally deport you?
Yeah, you can't illegally deport people. That's like kind of why that's self-evident. You can't do illegal things in accordance with the legal system.
ICE?
Does he still have Fourth Amendment protections?
What about ICE? What do you mean we can't deport them?
What do I mean I can't deport him? Here's what I mean. Because it's illegal because the Supreme Court said so. Do you need anything else?
Well, yes, because if you're telling me...
Wait. Who's the ultimate...
Hold on. If you come into this country illegally, why do we not have the right to deport you?
So you do have a right to deportation given due process in an immigration court. He was not given that.
We know he's here illegally. He came here illegally in 2011.
It's a lot more complicated.
So let him go through due process.
It's pretty simple.
So like before, so he filed for asylum. He did have temporary legal protections, and that's why, him being present in an immigration court for an immigration judge to determine if deportation was legal or not, that would be like incredibly relevant. But John, I just like one last thing here. Do you agree that his deportation was illegal because the Supreme Court ruled it illegal?
If the Supreme Court ruled it illegal, then it's illegal, and I would be in favor of him getting deported either way.
Okay. So I just want to clarify that you are in favor of the Trump administration doing illegal things.
In this case, absolutely.
Okay, so you're okay with the illegal consolidation of power to the executive branch of our government? You're a traitor.
Are you okay with illegal immigration?
He got a flag though, Parker.
I'm like, if he's okay with Trump
okay with
doing
illegal
things,
immigration?
then he has to be okay with again undocumented immigrants doing illegal things to come into the country.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, if you think that it's okay for Trump to do illegal things, so then why isn't it okay for undocumented immigrants to do illegal things for a better life? Like
Well,
get into the country.
Trump has his due process in court in the United States if he does something illegal.
What?
This guy's not from the United States. Okay.
You still get due process.
You got a flag.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hello, whatever.
I'm probably about to get off here in like 3 minutes.
Word, man. I'll probably be on for another 45. But hey, I'm actually gonna go use a restroom real quick, and you start debating this.
Go for it.
I'll be right back, everyone.
Whatever. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, why so?
Because he's getting all these illegals out, including the Abrego, whatever his name is.
Why do you call people illegals? And also, again, we just went over how that was like illegal.
No, I know, but what you're ignoring is, and what Dean was saying is a lie. Trump can say no to the Supreme Court because it hasn't played out totally, and you know that. Just because the Supreme Court rules a certain way, the process doesn't say that the president has ultimate power. The process says is he's going to appeal what the Supreme Court says, and you know that. So why do you mislead people in thinking that that he's not obeying the law? The process has not played out, correct?
the law was established, particularly like the order from the Supreme Court. You can't say no to a Supreme Court order. Donald Trump
Right.
did say no to a Supreme Court order.
Right.
That
And
puts us in a constitutional crisis. Hold up, also, right? I think it's incredibly
and
dehumanizing for you to call people "quote unquote"
and he can
illegals.
go
Right? The Supreme Court is the
he
final
can go
arbiter of
back
the. Hold
and
up. Hold up. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law, right? So Trump cannot say no. That's not how it works. You are literally lying.
Hey, what's the line? Sorry, just came back.
He's saying that Trump doesn't have to like listen to the Supreme Court.
Okay, why?
He thinks that they just have no jurisdiction, apparently.
Okay, why? Whatever.
No,
What's your position?
I didn't say he doesn't have to listen. I
That's
didn't say
exactly
he doesn't
what
have
you
to
just
listen
said.
to him. I just said he can consider it, and it has not played out. The final decision has not played out. And
What
you
does that
know
even mean? What does that mean? Yes, it has. The Supreme Court has made the order.
He can't. Okay, so you're saying that it's played out. What he's doing is illegal,
Yeah.
and he has no response to the Supreme Court. Of course he does.
Wait. So just like in like the checks and balances ordained by the Constitution, rulings by the Supreme Court are like generally final, and they can't be appealed because
Right.
there is no higher court, and like the executive branch of the government is under the jurisdiction of like the Supreme Court in a sense, because the Supreme
Right.
Court merely interprets and implements the Constitution as applicable to American law. And because the Supreme Court has interpreted and implemented, the Constitution as applicable to the law as executed on by Donald Trump as illegal, he would have to facilitate the return of Abrigo Garcia, and that would be final.
Yeah, but you keep saying words like generally. You know that the executive branch can question the Supreme Court decision, but you won't acknowledge that. You just
So
say,
would you be
"Oh,
totally
he's
okay? Would you be
illegally
totally okay
doing
with Biden, right? When it is the case that the Supreme Court said that he, what's it called? When the Supreme Court said that he needed to, bro, my brain just like shot out and completely forgot.
I just want to reiterate that.
Student loans. Student loans. That he couldn't facilitate the ending of student loan debt within plenty of respects. That he should have been able to do that. Are you saying that?
Okay,
But-
I'm glad you brought that up
I
because
ju-
he did it a second time.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just have to say, you said something false. You said that you could question Supreme Court rulings. No, they're final.
What do you mean they're final?
No,
Biden did
I
the
mean what I
exact
say.
same thing.
No, he didn't.
The Supreme Court ruled he couldn't eliminate student
so-
loan
so-
debt.
wait,
and
who,
he did
wait,
it
who
a
do you appeal
second
to?
time.
Who do you appeal to?
Can I just correct him real quick? Because
He
like
did it a second time.
no. So when the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's loan forgiveness was unconstitutional, he then went back and interpreted what the current law is and found a special way to re-navigate the issue of student loan
See?
forgiveness.
See?
Which means
see?
he. No, you're not listening to me. Can
You
you listen
It's
to me?
see?
illegal.
Can
It's
you
illegal.
can you listen to me before you can you listen to me before I finish speaking without interruption?
Sure.
When the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's first plan of student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional, Biden did not question that and went along with that Supreme Court ruling, but merely just found a new way to do what he wanted to do that was constitutional and was legal.
Right.
Okay? But
Right.
when you
So
tell me,
Trump-
no, you're still interrupting me. Stop. So when you're telling me that you can question rulings by the Supreme Court and they're not final, that's wrong. Judgments from the Supreme Court are absolutely final. The only way their decisions can be altered is if Congress passes a new constitutional amendment or if there's a new ruling by the Supreme Court. The executive branch has no jurisdiction and no authority to question or nullify Supreme Court rulings.
Correct. So we agree on that because Biden found a way to make it okay. And if Trump finds a way to make it okay, just like
That's
Biden
not him doing
did,
that. That's just
then
him
it's
violating
fine.
the order.
Biden
Biden didn't violate the order.
It hasn't played out.
What do you mean it hasn't played out? What the fuck are you talking about? It's the final fucking point when we're talking about the Supreme Court. Who are you going to appeal to? You can't. If you appeal to a higher court.
Yeah,
Like
like
there
I'm
is
not
no
saying-
appeal process when it
I'm
comes to the
not
Supreme Court. It's the final order.
When the Supreme
I'm
Court,
not saying
whatever,
appeal.
stop.
Now let me-
When the Supreme Court makes a ruling, it is done. It's over. It's dead in the water. So there's nothing to play out here. Okay? When the Supreme Court ruled that Biden's student loan forgiveness was unconstitutional, it was done. It was dead. It was over. It was in the water. He just simply found another way to do what he originally wanted to do that was constitutional. Okay? Right? But now, as it relates to the deportation of Abrigo Garcia, it's done, it's dead, it's over. The Trump administration is legally required to facilitate his return. All right? But what your argument would tell us here is that once they listen to the Supreme Court, once he has a facilitated return to America, then they could just probably find other legal ways to deport him, which would probably include due process in an immigration court.
Can I speak now?
You can speak, but I just want it to be very clear. There's no way for the Trump administration to legally circumvent the Supreme Court's ruling that they must circumvent his return.
If he finds another,
There is
Sorry.
no other way. There's no other way. There is no way that the Trump administration can legally uphold his deportation as it stands. They must necessarily facilitate his return unless, and if they don't do that, they're doing something illegal. This other way, quote unquote, would be them facilitating his return and then finding a legal way to deport him after that fact. But if they do anything
Which would be
other
due process.
than facilitate his return to America right now, they're violating the law.
wrong.
Not
If he
wrong.
finds another
All right, well, I gotta
if
go.
He finds another way.
Parker, I appreciate you for coming up here. I'm
Appreciate
so
you,
sorry that the
appreciate
guests
you,
today
man.
are so dense and terrible.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Everyone, I just want to let y'all know I'll probably be gone for a few days. I'm going to be posting stuff on YouTube still, but I'll probably be gone for a few days from live. I'll try to see what I can do in terms of the lives while I'm gone, but I'll keep y'all updated. I love y'all so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye, y'all. I love y'all so much. I'll say hi to people on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can ask me on YouTube real quick, but I'm about to get off everyone on YouTube as well. Love y'all.
Peace out, Parker. Okay, so whatever. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding your stance clearly. Are you like essentially saying that there might be a legal argument that his current deportation was legal?
Correct.
Okay. So the reason why you're wrong is because all legal arguments were exhausted given the Supreme Court's final ruling.
Okay. Just like Biden.
Yes, just like Biden.
And so if Trump finds another way, just like Biden found another way, then it's legal.
Okay, I'm going to say this one last time because Biden didn't find another way. Like with his original plan, he didn't find another way to execute his original plan. His original plan was dead in the water.
Okay. So if this is dead in the water, but Trump finds another way, like Biden did, then
Okay.
it's fine.
So I'm only going to say this one last time. Are you going to listen to me? Are you going to listen to me?
You're not listening to me.
You're not listening to me. Are you ready for what I'm about to say?
Are you ready for what I'm about to say?
Yes. But are you ready for what
Okay.
I'm about to say?
Sure. Go ahead.
There's no more legal arguments that Abrigo Garcia's deportation was not criminal. All legal arguments to justify Abrigo Garcia's deportation have been exhausted with the final ruling by the Supreme Court. The other ways no. The other ways that you're describing, right, that he could find to deport Abrigo Garcia would all be predicated on them first facilitating his return and then giving him a new due process in a new court.
Okay. So if he does find a way, because we're going round and round on this, if he does find a
I
way,
just want you to concede that
hold
any
on,
other.
hold on,
No,
hold
no,
on.
no, no, no,
Hold
no.
on.
Any, I
Will
want you
you
to
let
concede.
me finish?
I want you to
Will
concede.
you let me finish?
The answer to your question is no. I want you to concede that any other way they could find to legally deport him would first be predicated on them facilitating his return to this country.
If he finds a way, will you say you were wrong?
I want you to concede that any other way, okay, that they could find to legally deport him would first necessarily be predicated on them facilitating his return to America.
No.
Okay, why?
Because he will find another way, and if he does, you'll say you're wrong, right?
Whatever. I'm
Okay.
going to describe this to you one last time. I'm going to stop every 5
Whatever.
sentences, and I'm going to ask you to
Whatever.
repeat after me. Are you ready?
Whatever, dude.
You just said your name. That was kind of funny. Anyways, all right. Here's the deal.
You like
Here's the
you
deal.
like that?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Here's the deal.
for your BS? For your BS?
I'm literally describing to you like 10th grade civics.
Okay. It's going to be so funny when he finds a way, and then you go, oh, well, he didn't do it the right way. You're just going to do that. You just keep deflecting. He's going to find a way. You know he is.
So are you
And then you're
essentially
just gonna
saying that he's
say,
going to
"Oh,
find a
it's
way to
criminal."
circumvent the Supreme Court order?
No, he's going to find another way, just like Biden did.
I have a question. Is him finding another way nullifying the Supreme Court order?
Was it nullifying when Biden did it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
So then
we're
answer my
going round
question.
and round.
No. Please don't answer my question. Would this other way of Trump's nullify the Supreme Court order?
No.
Okay, so then you're saying still yet at the end of the day, the order for him to facilitate the return of Abrigo Garcia to America could not be nullified. Therefore, any other way to deport Abrigo Garcia would first be predicated on his return to America.
No, he's already deported and he's not coming back.
Okay, so then
And
you're
th-
saying that this other way would nullify the Supreme Court order.
Just like Biden did.
It didn't. It didn't. Biden's didn't nullify the Supreme Court order.
Okay. Rules for thee and rule. Come on.
No, I'm telling you that
Listen.
neither Biden nor Trump can nullify a Supreme Court order.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
So-
So once again, so I just want to so we can agree that Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order. Yes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
he's
so
not-
then you're
he's
saying
not-
so then I just want to clarify. So if we could agree that Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order, then you're saying that the Supreme Court order, legally speaking, must be executed, correct?
Biden didn't execute it.
He did. Biden did execute the Supreme Court order.
No, he didn't. He
Yes, he
went
did.
around it.
No,
He
the,
went
the,
around
the
it.
Supreme Court order was executed. He never,
Ugh.
he never, ever, he never forgave student loans through the plan in which was ruled as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, meaning the Supreme Court order was indeed executed. So can we
Okay,
agree
so
that because Donald Trump cannot nullify the Supreme Court order, the Supreme Court order must be upheld? Because the opposite of nullification is that being upheld. And would you say in order for the Supreme Court order to be upheld, it must be executed?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the execution of the Supreme Court order would be the facilitation of his return to America. You just conceded.
Dean, I know you're going to shed tears, but he ain't coming back.
Okay. Well, I mean, then you're just saying that Donald Trump will not execute the Supreme Court order, meaning that Donald Trump is doing something illegal.
No, because if that happens, he'll just
Wait,
find another way to do it.
wait. So you're saying
Just
that
like Biden did.
So you're saying that Donald Trump can both uphold and not uphold Supreme Court order simultaneously?
No.
Okay,
He
so then
can-
he's either going to uphold it or not uphold it, right? So which one is it going to be?
If he doesn't uphold it, then he will.
Answer my
find
question. Is
another
Donald
way.
Trump going to uphold the order or not uphold the order?
Yes, he's going to uphold the order.
Okay, but upholding the order would mean the facilitation of Garcia's return to America.
No, not before he finds a loophole, just like Biden did, and he's not coming back. Dean.
Okay, so then he's not going to uphold the order because the order
He's not.
because the order is him coming back. If he's not coming back, then he's not upholding the order.
Look how many people.
Wait.
are following his
Listen,
lead.
the order is him coming back. If he doesn't come back, he's not upholding the order.
No,
So then what's the order?
because he'll find
No,
another.
no.
way,
Explain to me.
just like
Explain to
Biden
me.
did.
What's the order?
He'll find
No,
another.
no.
way,
Explain to
just
me.
like
What's the
Biden
order?
did. He doesn't have to bring him back. if
I'm
he finds
asking you.
another
Then I'm
way.
asking you what the order from the Supreme Court is.
He doesn't need. To
You're
bring
not
him
answering
back.
my question. What was the order from the Supreme Court? What did the Supreme Court
not-
order the Trump administration to do?
Okay, let me ask you this.
No, you're not
Is there
asking
a-
me anything. You're not asking me jack fucking shit. What was the order that came from the Supreme Court to the Trump administration?
Why are you getting so angry?
Because you're
Dean?
not answering my question. I'm not angry. I'm assertive. Now answer the question.
Dean, if he doesn't come back,
Answer my
okay,
question.
if he-
I'm going to give you 3 more chances before you get kicked. What was the order that the Supreme Court has an expectation on the Trump administration to follow through with?
he's not coming back, Dean.
Okay, so I just want to clarify that you were refusing to answer my question.
All right. So let's move on. I want
So
to
I
ask
just
you
want to
another
clarify:
thing.
are you now refusing to answer my question? Asking you if you're refusing to answer my question.
Sure.
Great. Well,
agree with
I don't
everything you
talk to
said.
people that refuse to answer my
Sure.
question. So we're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, give us a minute while we get chat up here. Holy fucking shit! That guy had 3 functioning brain cells. Rhonda, thank you so much for the $10 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Here's to finding another way. This guest is so delulu, so fucking real. Also, thank you so much for the galaxy. That is so incredibly kind of you. What's going on, Chad? Do you support Trump?
No, I do not. I'm not going to argue with you.
All right, well, Chad, I do appreciate you for coming up. We are just looking to debate people that did indeed support Trump. So we're going to get that next guest, Corey, up in the live literally right now. So everybody just do be patient, y'all. All right. And oh my God, yo, Melissa, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Melissa. Everybody, please show some love to Melissa down below in that comment section. Literally right now. I want to see 500 Melissa W's down below right now. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you. Everybody, please show some love right now. And what's up, Maga Man? You said that I'm running in the chat.
Oh, D.
Ah, you're the best troll ever. Best troll ever. Evil D knows how to get it done. Evil D knows how to get it done every single time. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Carolyn, y'all. But guys, please show some love to Melissa down below. Melissa says, Dean, you're saying greetings from Australia. P.S. to all the Trump supporters. What the damn hell? Dude, they suck, Melissa. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. That is so much fucking money. Oh my God. Seriously, thank you so much for the love. As well as William, thank you for the $4.20 on Venmo, celebrating the day. Hell yeah, William. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, keep the stream going, I'm on Venmo and PayPal. You can find the link to both of those things in the link tree in my bio, as well as in the pin message over on YouTube. What's going on, Carolyn? Do you support Trump? All right, Carolyn is not here, quite frankly, so we're going to go to move on to the next guest. We got Elizabeth loading up into the live right now, y'all. If you're MAGA, let me know in the comment section. What's up, Elizabeth? Do you support Trump?
I do not. I had a question for you really quick regarding...
I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. We are only looking to debate Trump supporters. I only have around like another 30 or so minutes on live before I have to end for the day. So I will not be taking like any questions or any like guests from anybody besides Trump supporters, just because we have such a limited amount of time to spend on a live. What's going on, Avery? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay. Avery, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Okay, Avery. Well, you got to be at least 18. Once again, the criteria for being in the guest request is being at least 18 years old, being from America, and making sure that you support the president, y'all. Everyone, go ahead and just give us a minute while we get the next guest up at the box, y'all. So do be patient, y'all. Do be patient, everyone. What's going on in the 1,000? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 20.
Great. Well, before we get into our debate, I have to thank one more person here. Ryan, thank you so much for the $30 donation over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Ryan. That is so incredibly kind of you. I want to see 300 Ryan W's down below in the chat for the $30. Oh my God. Ryan says, keep killing it, man. You rock. You rock, Ryan, and thank you for your kindness. Everybody, show some love to Ryan. Anyways, 1,000, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Yeah, so I think he's a really good advocate for diversity and immigration and abortion.
Okay, are you trolling?
Dean!
Get out of here, bro.
Sorry, man.
Get out of here. It's funny how, like, I literally had to, like, question if he was a troll. You know? Like, I could totally see some, like, snarky Trump supporter run up here and, like...
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And, like,
so sorry.
literally try to run that as a real argument. I could, like, totally see, like, some, like, really annoying Trump supporter doing that. Let's go and get that next guest up here right now, y'all. What's up, John? Do you support Trump?
Oh, yes. 25, Michigan.
Sweet. One moment, because I gotta thank Sid for the $100 super chat over on YouTube. Holy shit, Sid. Sid says, have such a good flight, Dean. I'm so excited to see you on tour. Hell yeah, Sid. We're only a couple days away, and I'm getting on that plane tonight. Show some love to Sid down below in the comment section. That is so incredibly kind of you. I do not deserve that, like, at all. $100 is literally so much money. Let's get 1,000 Sid W's in that chat right now. That is fucking insane. I'll see you so very soon. Shout out to Sid. That is SYD. Now, John, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, I want to talk specifically about supporting Trump as a Jew. I want to see your take. Do you think, as a Jew, it's right for me to support the Democrats or support Trump.
I don't think that like your religion or ethnicity really would tell us anything about which party you should support.
Well, Trump actually backs my race, and the Democrats don't.
By like defending Israel, is that what you're saying?
Israel, college campuses, deportations of people who harass us daily, stuff like that.
Wait, I just want to clarify. Like, you think that people should be deported if like they freely speak things that you disagree with?
No, I think they should be deported if they support T groups.
So when you say support T groups, what do you mean?
Material and, vocal support for groups that are T
Zab,
groups.
thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. And then like I don't know, like the IDF. So like if you
Well,
support the IDF, you should be deported.
How's the IDF a T group?
I mean, shit, man. I mean, let's talk about Netanyahu and the order for his arrest that the ICJ has out.
Well, do you know
for
what
him.
a T group means?
I mean, well, I'd basically say any group of people that have systemically murdered and ethnically cleansed thousands or hundreds of thousands of people,
a T group
and plan to
actually-
ethnically cleanse millions more, would probably be considered a T group under my.
That's certainly your opinion, but a T group actually means a non-governmental military organization
Ah, shit.
that is carrying out military acts.
Oh, okay. So if it's a government that's doing the mass harm, then you don't mind.
Well, no, that's just the definition of a T group.
Okay, so basically, my position is okay. So you don't really care about the fact. So I'm just really confused on your position here. So you're telling us if they are a government and they're doing really bad things, you don't care and you don't think that we should deport people that support them. But if they're not a government, and just for the intents and purposes of this hypothetical, this isn't even true, but if they're doing identically bad things, then you should be deported? I mean, I just don't really see the relevance there.
No, I mean, that's a differ of an opinion. You're accusing
No. This is like your
a
view.
country.
So you're telling me that if somebody is in vocal support of a non-government organization that's doing something bad, they should be deported. But if there's a government organization doing that same bad thing, they shouldn't be deported. That's so trivial.
No, I don't think that's necessarily a difference. I don't think Israel's doing any bad things. I support
Really? Wait.
Israel.
You don't think that ethnic cleansing is bad?
No, I don't think they're ethnically cleansing. I'm a Jew.
Wait,
I support
how about we agree on what the definition of ethnic cleansing is? Is that fair?
I respect you. I respect you as a smart person. So if you want to go that
the definition of
route, go
ethnic
that
cleansing
route.
is a mass expulsion or killing of members of an unwanted ethnic or religious group in society. Donald Trump's plan for Trump Gaza would require the forceful expulsion of 2.1 million Palestinians to Jordan and Egypt. Seemingly, this would like categorically and definitionally fit ethnic cleansing.
Well, I don't think anything's forceful.
Okay, so he's not going to forcefully remove them?
I highly doubt that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's predicated on the destruction of their homes. He wants to completely flatten and level the entirety of the Gaza Strip, sir.
It's
If I
already-
walked up to your
already
house,
leveled.
if I walked up to your house, and we could even assume that your house is already damaged a bit, and I said you have 24 hours to get out, you have 24 hours to get out, and in exactly 24 hours, I'm going to flatten and level the lot of land in which your house stands on. Would I be forcefully removing you from your house?
No, you'd be giving me a better option.
Okay, great. So, guys, get this one straight. You could like tell people that you're going to bomb, level, and destroy their houses in 24 hours, and that if they want to survive, they got to get out. And that's not.
Well, that's what
forceful
happens
removal.
when you have T groups
So-
in your backyard.
So, John, I mean, at this point, you were just like being belligerently stupid and dumb. So either concede that that's forceful removal, or I'm going to go ahead and kick you and move on to the next guess.
Okay, it's forceful removal.
Okay, great. So now you agree that the Trump administration does want to ethnically cleanse 2.1 million Palestinians, and it would be predicated on their forceful removal. So you do think that ethnic cleansing is good?
You can call it whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it's actually you calling it this because we agreed on that definition.
No, I'm calling it removing T groups from.
Oh, okay. So I want to
from
clarify
places that
that.
hurt me.
So we started by you agreeing on my definition of ethnic cleansing, and then you agreed that what Donald Trump wants to do to the Palestinians is ethnic cleansing, and it fits under its definition. But now you just don't want to call it that, even though that's what the definition is? Why?
If ethnic cleansing keeps my people safe, then I don't really care what you call it.
Oh, okay, great. So now you do agree that it's ethnic cleansing, because that's just the first step, right?
You can call it whatever you want.
Well, I just want to clarify.
You're deflecting from what I came up here to argue. This isn't even what we're
you
arguing.
continue to say that I can call it whatever I want. Okay, well, I want to know what you call it. What is ethnic cleansing? I thought that
call
we
it
agreed.
keeping my people safe.
No, John. I thought that we agreed on a definition of ethnic cleansing, but obviously we haven't. So do you disagree with my definition of ethnic cleansing?
No.
Okay, so you do agree with my definition of ethnic cleansing?
Correct.
Okay, so because our definitions of the term ethnic cleansing are identical, if I could justifiably call it ethnic cleansing, so should you, right?
I mean, yeah, but you're kind of malarking what it means, really.
Oh, okay. So basically, you're telling me that Donald Trump's plan for Trump Gaza doesn't fit our definition of ethnic cleansing. So which criteria of ethnic cleansing does it not fulfill?
No, I just said you can call it whatever you want. I personally don't think it's ethnic cleansing.
So I'm just asking you the question. If you don't think it's ethnic cleansing and we agreed on what ethnic cleansing means, that means that you don't think it fits the definition of ethnic cleansing, right?
Sure.
So what criteria of the definition of ethnic cleansing does his plan not fulfill?
Forceful removal. You can stay there.
So John, you unironically conceded that it was forceful removal. You said, yes, Dean, that is forceful removal. I mean, do you take that
I must
back?
have misspoke. Yes.
Okay, so this is where I go back to saying, if you be this belligerently dumb and stupid, I'm going to remove you from my live. Because, like, obviously, if I was to walk up to your door and say, I'm going to fucking level and flatten your house, and if you don't get out in the next 24 hours, I mean, you're going to go down with it, that would be the forceful removal of you from your home.
Okay, but we're here to talk about why should a Jew vote Democrat instead of Trump. What are you guys doing for Jews?
So now we're at a point where you've conceded that it is forceful removal, implying that you concede it's ethnic cleansing, but you don't really want to talk about it.
No, you don't want to talk about why Jews should vote for Dems.
So
is
this you doubling down on pivoting away from the fact that you just affirmed that Israel's ethnically cleansing Gaza and Trump wants to help?
You can say whatever you want about Israel. I've heard people say they're G-siders, they're Nazis,
I mean, John, we're right back to where we started, because now we're at that same point where we were, where you're saying that I'm saying these things, but you don't agree. Well,
no, I'm just confused.
So, John, the only issue with this position of you saying that I'm saying these things and you don't agree is that we agreed on the definition of ethnic cleansing, and we agreed that Israel's plan for Gaza, as well as Trump's plan for Gaza, fits the definition of ethnic cleansing. You're acting very illogical, Mr. Zionist.
I'm just confused why you're not talking about the original point. I know that you're confused,
but tell me specifically what you're confused on. Is it the definition of ethnic cleansing, or is it how Donald Trump's plan fulfills the definition of ethnic cleansing?
No, it's how you're going to wrap this around to why Jews should vote for Democrats.
So you don't feel like entertaining or responding to my claim that Israel's ethnically cleansing Gaza and Trump wants to help?
I said that's a matter of your opinion, and I disagree.
But I'm asking you why you disagree, which would imply you either disagreeing on how I define ethnic cleansing, or you disagreeing on Donald Trump's plan fitting that definition. Those are the only two possible ways that you could justifiably disagree. Can you at least affirm that?
I don't think it's forcibly removing them.
John, you've now conceded and then contradicted your concession 2 times. Is this the third? Because right now we're going in circles. Wait,
I did it one time.
No. We've done it 2 times now, where you've said that you disagree that it's forceful. Then I'm like, John, you're stupid if you don't think it's forceful. Here's why. Then you're like, okay, Dean, yeah, I could see that. Would you like me to explain to you why it's a forceful expulsion for a 3rd time?
You won't even talk about the main point I came up with.
No. We're talking about this point. Would you like me to explain why it's a forceful expulsion one last time?
No, because I've already heard you say that.
Okay, so then what is the indiscrepancies in my justification insofar as why it's the forceful expulsion? Tell me why I'm wrong.
People can stay. I will. People can stay there in Gaza, but we're gonna hunt for every last age group member, and we're gonna get every single Jew who's there back into Israel.
So the first thing that you said was wrong.
And we'll see what happens.
You said that Palestinians have the right to stay in Gaza. Donald Trump says that they don't.
No, I said they can.
No, but implying that they can do that implies that they have the right to do that. They don't have the right according to Trump.
Right decision.
No. They literally don't have the right to be on the Gaza Strip according to Trump. Donald Trump said that he was going to flatten the entirety of the Gaza Strip and that Palestinians have no right to live there. That is the forceful expulsion of them. Like John, if I'm a figure of authority and I stand in front of the world's largest military and I knock on your door and I say in 24 hours I'm going to flatten the lot of land that your house stands on and you have no right to live in your house, am I forcefully expelling you to live from your house?
I mean, to a degree, yes.
Okay, so then you affirm that it is a forceful expulsion.
I mean, it's kind of tricky because technically you don't have to leave. You know, you don't have to leave. You can stay if you want. I'm not saying that's a good option, but
Okay, so you're saying that it is physically possible for you to stay in the Gaza Strip. I have a question. Do you think that Nazi Germany ethnically cleansed? Do you think that that Nazi Germany ethnically cleansed Poland?
yeah, I mean,
couldn't one argue
definitely.
that Polish individuals could technically stay?
I mean, yeah, they did.
Okay, so then it wasn't ethnic cleansing because it wasn't forceful expulsion, since under your view they could technically stay.
Well, ethnically cleansing in that case would be unaliving all of them.
Well, wait, you just told us that some of them stayed there and they were alive.
In Poland?
Yeah.
I mean, 2% maybe.
So that's what you just told us. So since they could technically stay there, according to you, it was an ethnic cleansing.
I know, but if the Palestinians stay in Gaza,
wait, so you just conceded
they're not all
that,
going to
so you
unalive.
just conceded that Nazi Germany didn't ethnically cleanse Poland?
No, they did. I said they unalived 98% of the Jews there.
Do you think that Polish individuals living in Poland could still technically stay in Poland?
I mean, they did.
Okay, so then it wasn't ethnic cleansing. Because
no, but you're not recognizing the fact that after they did stay, they systematically unalived 98% of them.
Okay, so you're saying unless Israel would kill any remaining Palestinian on the Gaza Strip, then it is not their forceful expulsion.
Correct.
Okay, well, I don't think that it requires a threat of death to indicate that force has been used. Now, while I do think that many Palestinians have died, I don't think that their death would be required for the justification of force. Like, for instance, John, are you forced to pay taxes?
Yes.
If you don't pay taxes, will you die?
No.
Thank you. You just conceded.
I mean, that's a different argument, though.
No, it's not a different argument. All that it shows is that you could be forced to do things even if you don't die if you don't do them because of other repercussions. In the instance
what are the
of
repercussions in
Palestinians
Gaza?
being ethnically cleansed off the Gaza Strip, force would be asserted through threat of death. Many Palestinians have died, but like predominantly through the fact that they would not have any living conditions, as Trump has promised to personally level the Gaza Strip, as well as he's addressed and asserted that Palestinians have no right to live on the Gaza Strip. You're just like a pretty bad person, John, with no sense of morals.
What is the point of arguing?
And I also just want to clarify that when you tell me that you hold to these beliefs because you're Jewish, you're lying. Okay, you could be a good person and be Jewish, and you are a bad person because you are a bad person as a Zionist. That's.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way.
So, anyways, do you want to tell me why I'm wrong? Because
no, because I would like to debate what I actually came up here for.
Oh, great. Look at you, John, running away from the fact that I just demonstrated to you that Donald Trump, as well as the state of Israel, support and condone and actually commit ethnic cleansing.
You can keep talking about Israel, but I just came up here to say why should I, as a Jew, vote Democrat?
Okay, John, say that you're running away from my argument, and I'll let you debate anything you want. Just say that you're running away from
you're the host. You're the host. If you want to do that and not argue what I came up here to argue, that's fine. Just tell me that.
Okay, so then what's the counter response to what I'm saying?
Well, repeat it.
John, I've repeated it 10 times. Are you stupid?
What, that you think a G-side and ethnic cleansing is going on?
I'm so sorry. You just asked me to repeat it. How many times have I repeated my argument, John?
Well, because I've been trying to talk about something
John,
else.
answer my question. How many times have I repeated my argument?
Well, we're going in circles.
Hey,
so
John, I'm literally asking you to say a number. How many times have I repeated my argument? Say a number.
Relax. 10.
Good boy. So why should I repeat my argument for an 11th time?
We can all be friends, okay? We can all be friends.
Why should I repeat my argument for an 11th time if you didn't listen the first 10?
I mean, you shouldn't have to. If you want to, it's up to you, of course.
So why didn't you listen the first 10 times?
Well, I thought you were going on to something else. I didn't know you were continuing that argument. I was making sure.
I'll repeat it one last time. My argument is that Donald Trump wants to ethnically cleanse the Palestinians living on the Gaza Strip. The reason why I think that is because I find the plan of Trump Gaza to fit all necessary criteria of the definition of ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing being defined as a mass expulsion or killing of members of an unwanted ethnic group in society. And forceful expulsion, that is threat of leveling the strip, would equate to forceful expulsion. Is pretty simple. If I was to walk up, knock on your door, and say, I'm going to level your house, you have 24 hours before I do so. you would be forcefully expelled from your house, alongside the fact that he said Palestinians have no right to live on the land and no right to return once they're removed.
Okay, great. What do you think Biden did with Israel? Just told them no?
So, John, I'm going to have you respond to that position. That was kind of the point of me repeating it, was so you could respond.
Okay, no, I do not think it's ethnically cleansing because no one is being forced off the land. The only point of this operation is to find every single age group member
I gave you,
and eliminate them.
I gave you my argument to justify force. Could you dispute my position?
Look, the only reason you'd be against this kind of stuff is if you want terrorists to remain in Gaza.
I gave you my argument to justify force. Can you dispute my position?
Yes, I just said no one's being forced off the land.
I just want to clarify. You didn't tell me why I'm wrong. You just merely said that I'm wrong. Okay, but
No,
I'm
I said
asking
no
you
one
to
can be
I'm
forced
asking
off
you
the
to
land.
justify that I'm wrong by pointing out the inconsistencies in my justification insofar as why it's force.
The inconsistency is that no one is being forced off the land.
Okay, but
and
that's
being
a
forced to
statement.
leave.
I'm asking you to justify the statement by rebuttaling my claim.
Okay, your claim was everyone's being ethnically cleansed. They're going to bulldoze Gaza and everyone's forced to leave. I'm saying no one is being forced to leave.
I gave you reason why I believe they would be forced to leave. Can you dispute the reasoning? Can you dispute the logic behind the position that they're being forced to leave?
No one was asked to leave.
John, can you dispute the logic that I gave you to justify that they're being forcefully expelled from the region?
What, you said they had 24 hours or something?
John, you're incapable of critical thought. You have the IQ of my fucking family dog, and that might even be an insult to my family dog.
I'm so hurt.
You should be hurt, but you don't even have the level of critical thought to conceptualize of being hurt because I insulted you. We're going to go and move on to like the last guest of the stream. Holy fucking shit. My name's John, and I don't use my brain. And whenever anybody says anything that I disagree with, all I have to say is that they're wrong. So guys, keep that in mind. Whenever anybody says something that you disagree with, you could just continue to be right by saying they're wrong. That was the extent of John's brain.
It's like tax policies.
Okay, one moment. Jada, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Haley, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. And Diana, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Diana. You were so incredibly kind. Let's get 500 Diana W's down below. Diana says, I appreciate all that you do. Good luck at College Station. Rooting for you. Safe travels. Thank you so much for the love, Diana. As well as Brendan, thank you for the 50 cents. You guys are all so incredibly phenomenal. So go ahead. Tell me why you like his economic policy.
Yo, thank you for the Venmo, bro. Oh my god, $50 on Venmo, bro. I appreciate it so much, bro. But give me like 5 minutes.
I don't really.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god, Dean with the $20. Oh my god. All right, bro. So what's going on?
I just want to clarify.
What's the issue, bro? What's the issue?
That was really cringy, what you just did, because you didn't actually get any donations.
Well, that's what you're doing. So wouldn't you just be calling yourself cringy?
So the reason that it's cringe when you do it, but it's not cringe when I do it.
All right. Can you?
So Spencer, the reason it's cringe when you do it, but it's not cringe when I do it, is because like people are actually donating to me.
No, but people are actually donating to me, bro. What do you mean?
Spencer, no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Why would anybody be donating to you right now?
Because I'm live. What do you mean?
Oh, so you're telling us that individuals are donating to you because you're on this live. Well, your donation links, such as your Venmo or PayPal, are nowhere in your account.
Yeah, they are. Look on my profile. They're right there.
I don't even need to look at your profile to know they're not there.
Oh, they are there.
Okay, I just looked. They're not there.
You didn't. I know you didn't.
Ryan, thank you so much for the $30 donation over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Ryan says, keep killing it, man. You rock. I appreciate you for the love, Ryan. Everybody, please show some love to Ryan down below, as well as Tab with the $5 on PayPal. So just tell us why you support Trump.
Listen, my dog's just going crazy. Hold on. Oh yeah, I support Trump because like people like you, they're just hypocrites and they kind of like influence my vote towards Trump.
Okay, so if even if Donald Trump was just objectively a better candidate than Kamala Harris, if the only reason you voted for him was because some guy on the internet pissed you off, we got banned. Surprisingly, it was for a guest violation too. Wasn't even because I bitched that last guest out. I like absolutely bitched that last guest out, and it didn't get us banned. That was a ban for a guest file.
So today,
crazy shit. All right. Well, that's it for me for the day. We had a rather short stream of debates, but pretty much everyone we did have was just absolutely insufferable. So that's about it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hang out with y'all for maybe another 5 minutes here, then pop off. Yeah, the next couple days are gonna be really interesting.